Well, hello there, everyone. My name is David, and this is Random Day Ramblings. Welcome to, or welcome back to, another episode. I know what you're thinking. Where has she been? And all I can say is everywhere and nowhere. Somehow, consistency is key, but the only thing that's really spooky is the fact that I'm not that girl. I fear for some reason, thought rambling would be easier. And it's not that I have a hard time rambling because I do talk to myself a lot. I do have a famous habit of talking to the walls, but this time I don't have many excuses. I've just been in this weird spot of hate to beat a dead horse, feeling in a rut. I know, I said it in the last episode. Feeling spooked and uncomfy. Ironically, I also filmed the last episode around the end of the month. That's not true. The last episode I filmed in the middle of October. This episode is being filmed at the end of October, specifically October 30th. Oof. The end of spooky season is tomorrow. What are the girls gonna be for Halloween? I just performed for Jamie Foxx at this festival that he throws for his daughter's birthday party. Insert clip here. Well, yes, that's me. Um, in the wig, obviously, the only girl. I did that, and this was a 16 to 22 event. I'm pretty sure that's what the flyer said. But I didn't know that going into it. I'm pretty sure it's his daughter's, or it was his daughter's 16th birthday party. And they performed, the group I was with, they performed at her birthday party last year. And then I got the opportunity to perform with them this year. And I'm pretty sure it's her 16th birthday party. That's what they said. I don't know. Anyways, details. It was a really fun and interesting experience, to say the least. But the costumes I noticed for the men, lots of pimps, lots of prisoners, lots of, I mean, the famous, like, not really a costume type of costumes. And then for the girls, I saw lots of also cops, but like slutty cop. Lots of just like the classic corset, short skirt, very what I'm going to be probably wearing tomorrow when I go out. But it was cute. I mean, I don't know. There were a lot more. I mean, I don't know how to say that. Like, I mean, I haven't been around that many youngins, children, as I would say, in a while. Like, I haven't been around this many high schoolers since I was in high school. And even then, I was kind of avoiding it as much as possible, despite being in the crowd. So it was really interesting being around so many children. But it was fun. It was a cute event. I did not stay. I will say I didn't really experience much of the actual event, so I can't really speak to what it was like in the actual experience in terms of being there and being a participant in that way. Because after we performed at like 11 something, baby, my feet hurt, my wig was tight. I had to go. I had things to do. And yeah, so I left pretty quick after. But it was really fun, super cute. What else have I done? I just watched a Netflix ball yesterday. Insert clip here. I did an LSS, tens, and I think six battles. So it was cute. I don't have clips of the tens, but I will be. Well, you would have seen the clip of my LSS because she was cute. She was kind of shout outs between the West Coast princess of the House of Glossier. What else has been going on? I haven't been doing much. I don't know. I feel like October has been a weird month where things have been super, super busy, but also not. Like, I've only been consistently busy at the beginning of October and the end of October, but the middle section of October haven't really done much, or I hadn't really done much. So I feel like that's why I was in like a weird spot with this month. I feel like this month has felt the most month month of the year, if that even makes sense. What else have I done? I feel like there hasn't really been all that much going on this month. I'm trying to get out of my end of the month rut, but with the fact that I have to pay my rent tomorrow, I don't have a costume, and I paid $30 for like three things at the grocery store. I'm just trying to survive. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have fun though. Tomorrow, I'm going to do something. I don't really have an idea. I have a picture in my mind. I tried to go to Spirit Halloween to buy wings for a joint costume with me and my good sis, Wesley, shout out. But the line was around the building and I wasn't gonna wait. It would have been easily 25, 30 minutes of just standing in the line, and I have no interest, I have no passion, and I don't care that much about Halloween to do that, especially to go in there. What if there were no wings? What if the wings, I mean, everything was 50% off, so I was gonna say, what if it were expensive, but it was have been expensive. Regardless, I wasn't gonna wait. I am gonna try to go to Spirit Halloween on Halloween. God forbid. We'll see what that's gonna give. But I'm intrigued, I'm interested, I'm a little spooked, but that's what this season's supposed to give. I was drinking tea and smoking a joint on the balcony because I wasn't feeling good, and you know what? I needed that. And on my little tea bag, it says, "He who wants a rose must respect the thorn." Persian proverb. And I feel like my rose is Random Day Ramblings, and I think my thorn is pushing myself. When I was in group therapy, we used to do Rosebud Thorn, and then we would try to change it. Or the facilitator, she would always try to change it to Thorn Bud Rose because she didn't want to end on a bad note. But I felt like Rosebud Thorn is better. Rose is something that you liked or something you enjoyed from the week or just the session. Bud is something you're looking forward to, and then Thorn something you didn't like. Shout out to my bitch Carlin. Shout out to Carlin. She got me through so much. Oh my gosh. Have you guys seen Problemista? I watched it on the 28th, and I'm going to insert my my review here. If you want to follow me on Letterboxd, it's just my name, David. I go in and out of having movie phases, but I love writing reviews. I try to write a review for every single movie I watch, and if I don't write a review for it, it's because I didn't have anything to say, or it's a movie I've already seen and I just couldn't think of anything quite interesting to say. But I try to consistently write reviews because I always have something that pops into my head while I'm thinking. I used to take notes during movies of like my commentary, especially when I would watch movies alone because I had so many thoughts. But I kind of stopped doing that because I don't really go to the movies that often. Hate to say it, I haven't been to an actual movie theater since June, which is really unfortunate because I've been paying for AMC A List since January. And I would say the only times I've really gotten my money's worth from that was when, uh, my heart. Shout out to Angelo, my movie buddy. He would take me to see all the movies, and we watch movies together all the time. And ever since he had to leave the country because his visa was up, it hasn't been the same. And the last movie we saw together was 28 Years Later, which I also really enjoyed. Surprisingly, I hadn't seen any of the other films in the trilogy, I guess, because I think that was the third one or the film's lore, but I actually really liked it. Anyways, back to Problemista. My review was insert picture here.
In every gay colored boy's life, he goes through the phase of two women being the most important to him, his mother and the white woman who's taken him under her wing. Both show him that all he's got to do is spread his wings and he's capable of anything. Ugh, so touching, and the end brought me to tears instantly out of nowhere. Watch this movie cautiously optimistic throughout, waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I'm glad Elizabeth came through in the end.
Loved, 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 loved. Which brings me back to Carlin. the white woman in my colored boy life who was really there and took me under her wing. She was great. Love Carlin. Who else? I'm trying to think of any other white women who are really pivotal in my life. Shout out to Mrs. Theriault. Love her. My buddy. Who else? I don't know. Comment some white women who've really impacted your life. I mean, I love a lot of famous white women. Who are your favorite famous white women? Shout out to Anne Hathaway. Shout out to Margot Robbie, Sydney Sweeney. Shout out to Hunter Schafer. Shout out to I don't know. I'm kind of blanking on white women, which is ironic. Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy. The Heat is one of my favorite movies, and they just popped up to my head. Feels like things are so weird, backwards, crazy, foolish, and ridiculous, and yet everyone's witnessing it, but no one's acknowledging, processing, feeling, really like I don't know. Like it's this weird thing where it's like all of these things are happening and we're not allowed to actually take a moment to stop and process. We're supposed to keep going and like living on like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna have access to healthcare. Yeah, it's okay. My groceries are 3 times more expensive than they were last year or the beginning of this year, whatever the fuck it is. Like groceries are so expensive. Everything is so expensive. Rent is so expensive. Healthcare is expensive. Life is expensive. And we're supposed to just exist. What the fuck? How the fuck does that work? I feel like that has always been my disconnect in just like trying to exist. I have such a hard time reconciling this everything is doom, gloom, and fucked up, and yet I'm supposed to still want to like get through it. Like, huh? Like, why? It's such a weird place to be in, I guess. And I guess that's the human condition. Bad shit happens every day, but you get up and you go and you survive. But I don't want to do that. Like, sorry. Not to say I want to die. I don't. I feel like I'm kind of late in the game at this point. It's not worth it. Life is cute. But I don't want to feel like every day is a struggle. Why does every day have to feel like it's a battle? Every day feels like it's a new thing. And I feel like that's not fun. Isn't life supposed to be fun? How the fuck did we get here? I think about that so often, and I know that sounds so like, how did we get here in like society? Like, how did we get here? But like, how did we get here? Like, actually, dead ass. Like, how did we get here? Like, people used to, I don't know, hunt and gather, live in villages, live in community, stay off their fucking phones. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Just even the phones. This is so stupid and so like Gen Z. Like, how did people live without phones? But like, how the fuck did people live without phones? I'm so addicted to my phone into a way where it's like I'm so aware of it, and I feel like everyone is obviously so aware of like how bad a lot of our relationships with technology is and how bad a lot of our relationships is with our phones and stuff, but I hate how much I'm on my phone. I just sit and I scroll and I scroll and I scroll for nothing. And if I feel like I have nothing to see, I close it and then I reopen. And then I close and I reopen. Whether that be Instagram to Twitter to Snapchat to TikTok to Instagram to Twitter to Snapchat to TikTok. And it's like, I know what y'all are thinking. What the fuck is on Snapchat? They have really satisfying this is so fucking stupid, but I love it. They have these like really satisfying like ingrown toenail. Like they have those like they clean them out. I love that. Or they do the like ingrown hairs. Love. I have trichomania though, so like I have this like impulse to pull out my hair. And it comes and it goes. I feel like the most of the time when it's really bad, I think I'm just like, I mean, it's related to my anxiety. So whenever I'm the most anxious is when my it's the most bad. But I do have a bad problem with pulling up my hair. Like I used to have, I mean, I just still do. Like I don't know what I'm saying. I used to have. I just have more hair. You can't see them, but I still used to have bald spots. Like I remember one time I got my hair cut in high school, and I had just like bald spots all on the back of my head from like where I used to like tug out my hair. So it was a mess. It was a mess. And even now, on one side of my hair, like on the left side of my head, and the back of my hair, or the nape, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's shorter because of me pulling out my hair. It was a lot. Anyways, I'm just like I'm talking about nothing. I don't know. Not to get all life is doom and gloom. I don't know. I'm just chatting. I sometimes just feel like a life is supposed to be nice, fun, enjoyable, and worth living. And for better or for worse, despite my relatively negative, pessimistic take on things, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, and I'd like to think, despite what I find to be consistently true, is that people will do the right thing, despite them often not. And especially not in American politics, but that's neither here nor there. We're ending this on a positive note. I'm hopeful that things are going to get better. Things are going to swing the other way in a way that feels positive. You know, we're going to look back at a time like this and think, damn, wasn't that crazy? 10 months into his presidency, and this is what we lived through. And he's trying to go for another term. I can't. You know what? I think with that, this is going to have to be a shorter episode. I'm going to have to cut it because I'm going to get hot. I really appreciate y'all so much for listening. Hopefully, I can post this on Halloween. I probably won't post this on Halloween. This will be posted after Halloween, early November, second week of November. We'll see. We'll see. Um, if I get any cute pictures of my costume slash whatever fucking outfit I end up wearing, I'm going to insert pictures here and here and here. So we'll see. If I don't have any cute pictures, I just made a bunch of noise and a whole lot of nothing. I'll probably insert something else. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. And with that, goodbye.